Did you know that you can only wear hair colors and get haircuts that suit your skin tone and your hair texture and face shape? I have olive skin, and so the only hair colors that suit me are super dark, warm hair colors. And I have a larger face shape, so I only ever wear long hair. Wrong. I completely change my hair color, haircut, and hairstyle routinely every week or so. And at every single hair transformation, the most commented thing is, oh my god, how does every single style, color, and cut suit you? It is an extremely flattering comment, but there is science behind it, and you too can wear any hair color, cut, and style regardless of what your skin tone, face shape, or hair texture is. Let me show you. So if you've ever visited your favorite hair salon or hairstylist and you show them some inspo picture from Pinterest, especially when it comes to trendy items, you might be told, oh my god, yes, this will absolutely suit you. Or you might be advised against it because the stylist will tell you that it does not suit you. And oftentimes that genuinely feels like a kick in the teeth, because what do you mean this thing doesn't suit me? It is hair and it looks gorgeous on the model or in the picture, and I want it to look gorgeous on me. And so you tell the stylist, no, I don't care, I still want it. You do it, and lo and behold, it does not suit you. The color is clashing with your skin, the cut is looking terrible with your face shape, the texture is just not looking right, or the maintenance is just way too high and you regret everything and you never want to touch your hair again. And anytime I hear stories like this, I get so heartbroken, because hair is literally the most versatile thing in the planet, and if you know how to tackle your own hair well and you know what goes with it, you can literally wear whatever, which is what I'm able to do. And one of the things that I get sent so often is, how does everything suit me? I must have the perfect skin, or she's just too gorgeous and so everything looks good. Today I'm gonna be sharing all of the tips and tricks that I use at every single transformation to ensure that it looks good 100% of the time, and literally everyone ends up thinking completely differently about the particular style, color, or cut. Let's begin. So hair being very fluid and versatile means that it can transform and change shapes a lot. It also, however, has enough of an influence that it can alter the way we look. And so when we tackle hair, we can't just take an idea from a photo and be like, I want to implement it on myself, because it's going to have a lot more influence than we understand or that we initially realize. And so before we look into getting any sort of a hair transformation, we have to understand the three fundamentals that might affect the way the hair looks: skin tone, face shape, hair texture. These are kind of the three pillars that definitely affect the way your hair is going to sit once you get the hair transformation. And understanding these three items is then going to make us be able to control how the end style looks and how we can tackle each aspect. The first thing we need to understand is what the hell our skin tone is. A lot of the times they're going to tell you that your hair color does not suit the skin tone, even though you're going to be like, what the f you want about? My skin is fine. But in color theory, we are aware that there are certain colors that complement each other and certain colors that are too contrasting, or they do not sit well next to each other. The same is very true in hair, but because it is something that can have so much impact, even a minor shift in hue, temperature, or color is going to drastically change the way it looks with our skin. For instance, someone who has very olive tones and can often have dark under eye circles, maybe a bit of pigmentation due to more melanin in their skin, might not look the best with completely icy white hair. That is because the white hair is going to give nothing into the skin. It's in fact going to make the skin look a bit duller, grayer, and maybe even a bit sickly. In comparison, something that adds warmth into olive skin, which does have more warm qualities, like coppers, honeys, and browns, might complement it better. And we tend to see these on people maybe with darker skin tones, people from the Mediterranean, or people who have generally a more olive complexion. Same goes with your face shape then when it comes to the shape of your hair. We are often told that if you have a very round face, do not get a short haircut because it's going to accentuate the roundness. Instead, get something long. If you have a large forehead, always get bangs. But there are still routinely people who have all these qualities and are still able to rock whatever. For instance, Rihanna, who has quite a large forehead, very often does not rock bangs. In fact, she hasn't for a long time, and she still looks absolutely amazing. Our third pillar is hair texture. We need to understand what the hell our hair texture is, because it is going to make such a drastic difference in how we end up styling styling the end look. Is your hair super straight? Does it have gentle movements in it? Does it have a gentle S formation? Does it frizz? One really amazing chart that you can use is this amazing chart here that categorizes hair into what movement it has and then how coarse and dense it is. My natural hair is around a 1B, meaning it is very straight, but it's got the gentlest frizz in it. Placing your natural hair somewhere on this chart is going to be very important when you come to realize how your hair needs to be styled. And this is set true for any style that you get. So in my case, if I were to narrow all of these three things down, I would say that I have neutral to olive skin with not a lot of redness in it. I have a mostly oval face shape, quite small in size, and I have 1B hair, meaning it's got very little movement, but it's got just the tiniest bit of frizz and coarseness to it. Take a moment to figure out kind of where you sit along these charts. Once we have all of these figured out, it is now time to see what the hell we can create when we have our own little formula. So once we get here, we have one of two decisions that we can make when it comes to the next hair transformation. We can either analyze all of these three items and figure out based on that what we're going to do. For instance, if person A has very fair but rosy cheeks and a rosy skin tone, we can deduce that that person can have a slightly warm to neutral hair color so that it does not overwhelm the skin tone. And that person A should probably stay away from very red tones, very warm, bright, light hair colors to avoid accentuating that already quite red appearance. So we're going to give person A very gentle, neutral chocolate hair color. From her face shape, we can see that she's got a very long face with quite a wide forehead. So we're going to give her a layered haircut so that the hair stops looking so vertical and starts expanding horizontally. We're also going to give her some curtain bangs to soften her forehead and give her a more gentle look instead of accentuating that long appearance. And her hair texture is somewhere around 2C, meaning it's got quite a thick S formation as well as a very coarse, frizzy, natural movement. So we're going to give her a keratin treatment, and then we are going to recommend that she always kind of wears her hair in a beachy salt spray movement so that she always maintains that very S formation. That person now has an ideal hair transformation to match that look, but that person is also now stuck with that one look because we are telling that person that that is the only one that works. So we're going to instead look at option 2, which is the make any hair transformation suit you irregardless of these things. So when I shaved my hair off completely and I had my buzz cut period, I was absolutely terrified it is going to look absolutely dreadful. 99% of the time it did. I looked like this. I wasn't the most attractive that I could have been. And yet I still continuously say that it was one of my favorite hairstyles ever, especially when we see pictures like this, videos like this, and the fact that even YouTube and ASOS reposted this video. So what the hell did it? In this category, there are 4 things that we need to tackle. A lot of people think that when you change your hair, that is all you have to do. You got this hair change and you are now beautiful. You're Kim Kardashian, you are every pop star out there, you are Stella Cini 2.0, everything is going to work out in your life. And then you're gonna get home, you're gonna wash it, you're gonna wash off the makeup, and you're gonna realize, what the hell? How do these people work it? This looks absolutely terrible. And that is because we have this idea that hair is like a comfort blanket, that it doesn't need to be touched, that it's always going to look good. When hair is more like an accessory, and the way we style it is almost like a jigsaw puzzle of other things that we also need to add in order for it to work. For instance, anytime I wear blonde hair, I know that I look incredibly bland. I have quite a light skin tone, I don't have very prominent eyebrows, and my natural hair color is very gray. That means that the entire thing is washed out. So if I would be wearing a short blonde bob, let's say, which I rarely do because I hate blonde, ugh, I know that the first thing that I need to do is I need to add contrast onto my face. I need to get darker eyebrows, I'll put in contact lenses, and I'll usually wear a more prominent lip, eye, or face combo. This is going to be the very first thing to have something on my head stand out. The rule of thumb is typically if you have light or pastel hair, you're going to need something to contrast on your face. If you have a brighter or darker hair, you can tone the face down. In fact, it is recommended. And so the first thing that you should do if you want any hair change to suit you is you need to tweak your makeup. You need to understand that makeup and hair go so hand in hand that it is so crucial to get both of them right. Every single time I change my hair to something new, you will always see that I tweak my makeup somehow. This wig is case in point. Typically, I will wear a more warm brown eyebrow that is slightly lighter in color, but because I knew I was wearing an almost black wig today, I tweaked my eyebrow to be slightly darker than normal. This is going to aid the complete transformation because dark hair is typically better suited on warmer or slightly deeper skin tones. Lastly, I do like to have one element on my face that matches directly with the hair, whatever it might be. In this case, I did quite a deep eyeliner, which fair enough, I do normally, but I was like, today I definitely cannot skip it because I want something to contribute. Normally, if I do, let's say, emerald hair, I will have either emerald eyes or I'm going to have emerald eyeshadow or eyeliner. There's going to be something that ties in directly. When it comes to bright hair, however, you can and should tone down the colorful makeup just the tiniest bit, unless you want to go the full way and then do a whole complementary look. I tend to go for one or the other anytime I have super bright hair. Sometimes if I really do have especially particularly colorful hair, multicolored, I tend to want to tone it the tiniest bit and keep my makeup more neutral. But if I have one singular hair color, I tend to like complementing it and creating a monotonous look to complement it. And this I will keep throughout the duration of me having this hairstyle. Styling the hair is going to be the next thing that we need to tackle. Certain hair cuts require certain hairstyles, and whatever we end up doing, it has to kind of match the whole thing. For instance, when I have my pixie cut, I tend to like to style it in a bunch of different ways because it is so versatile. But each one has its own kind of personality and each one requires its own kind of visualization of what is going to look the best. In this look, I opted to go for a much more kind of 80s vibe and rock that slightly retro aesthetic that the hair gave the entire look, and I complemented it by pairing it with the right clothing and with the right makeup. And in that sense, something that normally would be considered an uglier hairstyle ended up being a very fun hair look. In this case, I continuously call this my boyish haircut. This can be such a masculine haircut, especially very like trendy TikTok boy hair, and I wanted to give it a slightly more feminine energy. And in this case, I got influenced by my hand tattoo and I added gentle floral detailing on my skin. This was such a gentle, minimal touch, but it elevated a masculine haircut to look more feminine on me, even though I then paired it with more masculine items like an oversized blazer. But the end look was so cohesive, it was so nice, it was so gentle. I even then complemented it with darker eye colors to match it with a more earthy appearance. When it came to the buzz cut, I want to say to this day the most challenging, because you take away your security blanket completely, and so you're relying on your other features quite heavily. My one tip to say when you're wearing a buzz cut is that everything else needs to pop. Everything else. The first thing I will say is that blonde buzz cuts tend to always look better. That's not to say that you cannot or shouldn't wear any other colored buzz cuts. I definitely got creative with them, and especially then later I got creative with some fun colors, some fun designs, really just playing with it. But blonde does tend to look super cool because it immediately brings the eye to it and doesn't make it look like, oh my god, this person buzzed her hair, what the hell. It makes it look more like, oh my god, that person looks insane. But typically what is always paired with buzz cuts is heavy makeup. Hair, without us realizing, contributes so much to bringing attention, building contrast, and just uniformly just creating our appearance. When we take it away, we do need to compensate for it, typically with makeup. And so anytime I had my buzz cut and I was wearing it outside, I did pair it with heavier than normal makeup because I wanted to build a new sort of appearance and bring attention not to the fact that I don't have hair, but to the fact that this girl doesn't have hair, and oh my god, it still looks really good. It looks really edgy, it looks really just fun. Another thing that we should keep in mind is that hair also very often requires its own accessories. The buzz cut being the fact that there is no hair means that a lot of jewelry usually looked really amazing to it, because we are taking away the hair, but then we are bringing attention to our ears, our chest, our fingers, and it just completes the look. Even though the buzz cut is so simple and doesn't require any styling, the rest of it looks so styled and it looks so stunning. If I were to walk around with absolutely no effort done, I looked sick. But with everything completed, the whole thing just looked intentional. It looked really stylish. It looked really like, oh my god, I want to try it. Understanding the potential personality of the hair is another thing that is going to really help when you are creating and curating your new favorite look. For instance, to me, a mullet always looks edgy. It looks sharp. It looks dominating. It doesn't necessarily give off a very relaxed vibe. Instead, it always looks like it's a bit vintage, but always extrovert. It brings attention to it. And so when I had my mullet, I paired it with super dark hair and then quite a bit of like heavier than normal accessories. I tended to wear more silver over gold, and I tended to wear more black over other colors. Short bob, on the other hand, to me looks a bit more polished, a bit more corporate. And so with that, I tended to wanted to elevate not only my aesthetic, not only my makeup, but also my outfit and my wardrobe. And so I wore a bit more blazers with it, a few more high neck button-up shirts, a bit more beautiful tailored coats, because the hair just gave off that vibe. I also like to keep it quite stylish, quite styled, a bit sleek, to give off that complete aesthetic and persona. When it came to wearing super bright hair colors, the trick was then to always slightly underwhelm in the outfit department. If you have very bold red hair, let that be your boldest aspect. Let that be the thing that people's attention are drawn to. In that case, I always like to have a bit more polished makeup, although I did like to experiment with a very gentle no makeup effect, and then keep the rest of my outfits a bit more toned down. Not necessarily unexciting or boring. I still experimented with certain cuts and textures and tailoring, but I didn't match it with a bright blue suit. I didn't want to look like a Pepsi commercial. This is going to help build that identity that the hair is on its own, but the rest of it does not feel neglected and it does not clash. I always like to compare hair, or rather our entire identity, to the interior of a home. Any piece that you get, and it is a larger piece, has to complement everything that is already present. And when we create a certain hair look and a hair moment and a haircut, we do have to pair it with the right makeup, the right styling and accessorizing, and then the right outfits to match the entire complete idea that we have in mind. And one of the things that I notice the most is anytime we show our Pinterest or a mood board or any image as our inspo pic, we fail to realize that that person or that model or that individual also delivered on every single one of these aspects. And it is very valuable for us to pick those up. If you are using me as a reference and you really like the styling of something, keep in mind that that was most likely intentional and that the image was able to be delivered in such a good, well connected and constructed way because of all the styling and makeup and design that went into it. So yes, you literally can wear any hair color and any haircut and style it however and still have it look good on you. That is not down to your skin tone or to your face shape. It is all down to styling. You can find one perfect hair color, haircut, and hairstyling that is going to suit you every time of day and it's always going to look amazing, but then you're also limiting yourself to that one thing. If you then want to step into a more colorful light, into a brighter light, into a more aspiring light or a bit more experimental, these are the things that you do need to consider and you do need to factor in to complete your look. While this does sound like a ton of work to do just for a haircut, keep in mind that a new hair look or a new hair transformation does hold so much power, and every day that you wake up you're going to be so eager to say, oh my god, I know exactly who I want to be today, because a hair change is not a hair change, it is a lifestyle change. And very often I will do my entire look to match the person I want to be that day. If I want to be a boss today, best you know, I'm going to dress like a boss. That means I'm getting my tailored suit on, I'm wearing long, sleek, dark hair, I'm putting my red lip on, I'm putting lenses in, lashes, and I'm going to be wearing my nicest watch. If I want a more relaxed approach, then I am shaving my head. I am drawing a design on it. I'm matching that to my makeup, matching that to my jewelry, and wearing an outfit that is going to complement that. If I want a more gentle, serene approach, I'm going to wear a short blonde bob, gonna give it some beach waves. I'm going to complement it with some gold jewelry, maybe a more feathered eyebrow, but keep the makeup light, and I'm going to wear a very gentle, neutral dress to match the whole thing. Hair is lifestyle, and it is a personality. It is not gently just a transformation. If you want more inspiration on what to do when you get a specific haircut or look or style, watch any of my videos. Normally, I do tend to put so much thought into the end look, into the styling, into what I pair it with. And so if you do use one of my looks as inspiration, give some thought into the aftercare as well, so that you can formulate and build a very, very good persona to match your new transformation. Remember, hair is art and you are the artist. Art it up, baby. Art it the fuck up. This is the look that I decided to pull out today. This wig, oh my god, this is the natural hair texture. I wanted to give it a very like Kardashian look, so I paired it with a classic Kardashian lip, a very neutral color to not overwhelm the eyes. I paired it with a beautiful liner, nice eyebrows. This is my gentle accessorizing because I think the hair is doing all of the speaking, and I paired it with a very cute low cut back dress. I think it works, but let me know obviously what you think. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to this channel, join the Stella fam, let's learn a thing or two together. And as always, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give it a go, and I will see you in my next video where we can discuss some more things that you can do to your hair. I love you. Bye!